Python SQLAlchemy module, accessing and plotting MySQL table data. Hello everyone and welcome back to another interesting lesson on how to access MySQL table data using Python SQLAlchemy module. In the first half of this lesson, we will learn how to access MySQL table data using SQLAlchemy module, and in the second half we will learn how to plot these data using Matplotlib module. We will also use the Pandas module for handling data frames. So, let's begin. If the SQLAlchemy module is not installed in your system, then you need to first install it using the pip command, pip install SQLAlchemy. We will also use the Pandas and Matplotlib modules for handling data frames and plotting respectively. Also, we will use the mysql-connector-python module for establishing connectivity with the MySQL server. So, these modules should also be installed in our systems. Let's install the SQLAlchemy module. Let's check whether SQLAlchemy module is installed or not, and if it is, then what version is it? So, it is installed, and the version is 2.0.23. In this example, we will use the world database and the world_population_2020 table of this database. The description and few records are shown on the screen. These are the various fields of the table world_population_2020. The table has 235 records. The contents of few records are as shown on the screen. In this lesson, we will access these records from Python using SQLAlchemy module, and then we will plot these data using Matplotlib module. Now let's establish a connection to the MySQL server using SQLAlchemy. First of all, we need to import the required modules. We need a connection string for supplying database access details to the create_engine method. I will explain the contents of the connection string afterwards. For the time being, just follow me along while I type. Now let's create an engine object by passing the connection string to the create_engine method. Let's run the code and check what happens. No error message is raised. It means the connection is successful. We have also displayed the details of the engine object. Now let's understand the various parts of the connection string. Here MySQL is the database dialect. That is, whether the database is MySQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle, SQLite, etc. And this is the database connector that will be used by SQLAlchemy for establishing a connection. SuMyPyLab is the database username. And this is the password of the user SuMyPyLab. Here localhost is the database host. It can be any valid domain name or an IP address where MySQL is installed. 3306 is the port number. World is the database name. Here is the syntax of the connection string. So, our database connection is successful. Now let's load the MySQL table records into a Pandas DataFrame. And for this purpose, we will use Pandas read_SQL function. The first argument to this function is a SQL select query and the second argument is the database engine object. Let's check the contents of the data frame, df. And here it is. As we can see, the data frame has 235 rows. All the columns of the data frame are not shown here. Let's display the column names. These are the column names of the data frame, df. We may match these column names with that of the column names of the table as shown here. So, we have successfully accessed the MySQL database and loaded the data into Pandas DataFrame. Now we can pass any query to the read_SQL function and retrieve the required data from the database. Isn't it so interesting? This is the beauty of SQLAlchemy, we can access databases so easily. Our first part is complete here. Now we will plot the data stored in the data frame, df using Matplotlib. Now let's see how to plot the data from the data frame. We need to import the matplotlib.pyplot module. Now let's change the SQL query. Now let's view the column names of the data frame df. These are the columns of the data frame. Before we proceed further, let's rename the column population_2020 to population. Our data frame has one column named urban_population_PCT but no column for rural population. So, let's create a new column, rural_population_PCT mathematically. Here is our new column, rural_population_PCT. Let's select top 10 most populated counties in the world. For this we need to sort the data frame using the column, population in descending order. These are the top 10 most populated countries. Now let's plot the population against top 10 countries. Pardon, we need to plot data from df_popl_top 10 data frame. And here is our first plot. Change the plot type to bar. And here is our bar plot of top 10 most populated countries in the world. Let's display the grid lines and add a title to the plot. This is our complete code for plotting a bar plot from the data frame. Isn't it interesting? We have fetched data from the database, we have processed the data from the Pandas data frame and plotted the filtered data using Matplotlib. Now we will plot few pairs of data from the data frame after sorting the data in various manners. No explanation is required, just follow me along while I code. Now we will modify the code for generating 2x1 subplots. These are the two data frames containing the top 10 most urban populated and top 10 most rural populated countries. Plotting the urban population graph on the top of the screen. Now plotting the rural population graph at the bottom of the screen. Oh no, we have got some errors. Let's check the code. And here is the bug, it should be subplots. And here is our subplots. This is our full code for plotting the subplots. As we can see from the previous examples, we are at liberty to plot the data fetched from a database. Here it is MySQL. We can process the data and plot these data in various ways. So that was it for this lesson. Please subscribe if you learned something from it and you have not subscribed yet. Please don't forget to like, comment, and share with others. Waiting for your valuable feedback. Hope to see you in the next.